everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you my February TBR. Before we go into the books I want to read in February, however, I want to talk to you about my January TBR for a second. So this is my first year trying out monthly TBRs. I am still trying to get into like the groove of things, seeing what works and what doesn't work for the TBR. Now, in my previous one, I had mentioned that my gut feeling is that putting 5 books on a monthly TBR is a good number because 1, I'm a mood reader, and 2, I read about like 7 to 8 books a month in a normal month, but then obviously things can get hectic and stressful, and so this number can change as well. So in order for me to actually make these TBRs manageable and realistic, I think 5 books is a good number. So that obviously meant that I had 7 books on my January TBR. And let's take a look at how that went. So out of these 7 books, I have so far finished 4 and I'm currently reading 1. And that seems to be like the realistic thing that I can achieve this month because I only have a couple of days left. I filmed this one a little bit in advance before you see it. So yeah, it seems like my gut feeling with the 5 books is correct. I have read some other books as well. I will talk about the books in my wrap-up that is coming up soon. But for now, let's just wrap up the TBR portion of it. So on the TBR, I had my rereads of Nevermore, Wondersmith, and Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. And I'm happy to say that I did finish all of these 3 rereads in preparation to then read Silverborn, and I'm currently reading this one. I still have quite a bit to go. I don't know how realistic it is that I actually still finish it this month. I don't think it's too realistic, to be fair. I have been very slow with the reading for the last couple of days, and I don't really anticipate that that will change. My anxiety levels have been quite high because of everything that's going on in the world, but also in my personal life. I had some things come up that might be positive, but right now also cause me a lot of anxiety and just anticipation stress. So we'll see. Yeah, this probably won't happen. I'll try to focus on it today as it is my day off, and then on Saturday, and then the month is over. So I don't know. Then I had one more book, or 2 more books, kind of depending on how you count it, on the TBR that I did actually make progress in, but I haven't finished, and that was the Grimm's Fairy Tales. I have made around 200 pages of progress in this, but this is just a very slow-going project that I will continue to chip away at in the coming month. And then I had one book on the TBR that I had started in December, but then have not touched at all in January, and that is Anyway the Wind Blows. I really want to read this, I promise. I have not touched it in January. And this is still kind of like the after effect of my every book all at once situation. Yeah, January has not been the great reading month that I hoped it would be. It was still better than last year and the year before that. January is usually not a great reading month for me, but yeah. So out of the 7 books on my TBR I had for January, I have started all of them. I have finished 4 of them. I might maybe finish another one if I'm lucky. And because that went so splendidly in January, I obviously have 8 more books on my TBR for February. And yeah, don't ask me why. Now, February is a month where I like to focus on Black authors, so that is what I want to do. So that means that probably I won't make a lot of progress in the Grimm's Fairy Tales, which is also not very smart because I really need to have a continuous effort to read through these. But yeah, right now I don't really anticipate myself reading a lot of this, but we'll see. It's still on the TBR. It will stay there until it's finished. Sadly, similar concerned right now about Anyway the Wind Blows. I will keep it on the TBR, but since I really want to focus on reads by Black authors, this one does not qualify as well, but I'll keep it on there. We'll see how it goes. Now, if I don't manage to finish Silverborn before the month is over, I hope to finish it on Sunday, which would be the 1st of February. So that one will get finished either way. at the end of January or the beginning of February. And so let's get into the 8+ books I have on that TBR. Don't ask me why. So from my physical TBR of books that I need to read this year, I have Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. This is luckily a very, very tiny short one. I think this will still pack an emotional punch, so I don't want to say that this is going to be like a quick read or something. We'll see how that goes, but this is one that is very high priority, obviously. Then I have 2 books from my reading goals that I might read in February that currently are on the TBR. The first one is Mama Day. This one I am considering getting as an ebook. I don't own it yet, but as I said, this is one of the books that I want to read this year, so it would fit in quite well. And then also from my reading goals list, we have The Count of Monte Cristo. This one, I don't know, it might get pushed back a little bit, to be fair, but this is also one that I'm considering reading in February. And yeah, we'll just see. Maybe I'll push it back. Maybe I read it in February. This TBR is too big. It's too big. And this is one of the books where I'm not quite sure yet, because it is a big classic. I will get this one from the Gutenberg Project. If you don't know that one, it is a website where you can download ebooks for classics, older classics. So this is how I want to read this one. Then I have 2 books from my birthday haul that would fit in very nicely for my reading plans. So I put them on the TBR because I would love to get to at least one of these immediately. So we have The Death of Vivek Oji by Ekweke Messi. And again, I think similar to Giovanni's Room, they probably have like a similar emotional punch and are probably both very sad, but also are both a little bit shorter, so that might work in my favor. And then we have The Reformatory by Tananarive Due that I also got for my birthday. And this one is quite chunky, but I read The Good House by Tananarive Due last February, and it was such an amazing book. So yeah, I definitely hope to get to this one in February. I do like me some black horror books. Then I have some audiobooks that are on my TBR. Now, granted, one I'm currently reading, and that is Raybearer. This one I started a little bit early because I anticipated that my February TBR would get quite full, and yeah, it is. This is an audiobook that I just bought recently in a Libro FM sale, so I'm excited to get to this one straight away. And yeah, so far I'm about 20% in. It was a little bit of a different start than I had anticipated. The main character in the first part of the book is still very young. She's only 11 years old, but now I have reached a time jump and now they're like teenagers, they're 15. And I might even finish this one like very, very early in February. So I thought about reading the sequel immediately if I get really sucked into this world, as I hope I will be. And then the other audiobook I want to listen to is also the conclusion to a duology, and that is I Am the Dark That Answers When You Call. I read the first book, I Feed You to the Beast and the Beast is Me, I think. Those long titles always trip me up. But I listened to that one last year and I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't manage to finish out that duology last year. So I definitely want to prioritize it this year, and February would be the perfect month for that. So I hope to get to that audiobook as well. And then because I didn't have too many books by Black authors on my TBR before my birthday haul, I also went to the library and checked out some books by Black authors. And I wanted to put at least one of them on my TBR, and the others are kind of like options for, I don't know, just in case February adds 28 more days to the month. So the one that I firmly added to the TBR is Small Worlds by Caleb Azuma Nelson. I loved Open Water by the author, so I really want to read his second novel. He has a very, very poetic writing style, which I very much enjoyed in the first book. And so yeah, I can't wait. And this is also more of a shorter one, but I think again one that is very impactful and probably quite emotional as well. And I think this one deals with music, and in general this author writes about being Black in Britain, Black men specifically in Britain. And because obviously this is not ridiculous enough, I have some more options from the library. Now, my friend Jess really wants me to read A Song of Wraith and Ruin, and I had checked this one out before and didn't get to it, so this is also kind of a high priority, but looking at my stack, no promises. And then I also got the Underground Railroad because my friend Daniela recently read this one, and I love this book. It's one of my favorite books by one of my favorite authors, and I was considering a reread. Again, looking at the stack of books I have, probably not happening, but it is an option if I feel like it. And last but not least, I got A People Person by Candace Carty-Williams, and I have no idea what this one is about. This is the author of Queenie, which I also haven't read, but yeah, I just really like the cover, and I thought, you know, this could be an option. It's a little bit different, I think, from the other books on my TBR, if that is the mood I'm having. And just so you know, I do anticipate reading some more audiobooks than I have mentioned right now. So I have a couple of authors I just wanted to list at the end here that I am considering reading some more audiobooks from. So the first one that is kind of a safe bet is S.A. Cosby, because I have access to one of his books, I think more of a novella, that I definitely want to read. Then we have P. Jelly Clark, which is also one of my favorite authors, and I could read one more of his books. We have Victor Laval. I definitely want to read more of his books as well. We have Rivers Solomon. They have this haunted house book that I've been really intrigued by. Justina Ireland, also an author I like following, and I have read one of her books in a very long time. We have Nicole Glover, who has a new book that I'm interested in, and we have Jess Hammonds, in case my YA mood strikes up, because I think they have a book called Thirsty that also looks very interesting. So this was definitely more of a pile of possibilities than an actual TBR, and I'm very sorry for that. This is actually not how I want things to go, but on the other hand, I really hope that with this video I can inspire you to try to pick up some Black authors in February. You don't have to be like me and try to like only read Black authors, but at least reading some I think can already be a very great like diversifier for your reading. And I tried to mention like different things like classics, literary fiction, horror, fantasy, all the good stuff. So I hope there was something here that maybe piqued your interest as well. And we'll see what I actually end up reading. Like right now, it is so up in the air because, yeah, things could change. And yeah, just in my personal life as well. I don't know what happens, but I'm excited for these books, so I wanted to share it. Thanks for listening to me blabbering, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!